God damn it. Sorry, y'all. So this video was filmed last Friday. And I'm filming this on Wednesday night. I didn't do a kitchen table vlog because I'm exhausted. I don't feel well. I could probably sit on my face. I talk about it in this video, but I also mentioned that some of it is like mental health. This is the week that, you know, right before my grandma passed away, the anniversary of that. And my brain always gets confused with that, but I have not felt well. And yeah. So the only thing I need to update you on is I saw my immunologist on yesterday. And he was like, yeah, so you basically had no response to the tetanus diphtheria test. None. He said, we already know you didn't have any kind of reaction with the pneumonia vaccine. And he said, I want to get you to have a tetanus shot and get you another pneumonia vaccine. And he said, then in 6 weeks, we're going to redo this blood work and we'll see what happens. He said, but I am almost 100% positive that you have CVID. Why am I getting so many flipping emails? Sorry. So I'm like, okay, great. It's like I have alphabet soup. I have CVID and OPLL and RA and what was the other one? FSHD. And it's like, oh my God, have mercy on my soul. So I was like, okay, it tracks. And he said, you know, depending on what this blood work shows, he said, we're probably going to have to get you into IG therapy. And he said, I don't know if that'll be subcutaneous or if it'll have to be an infusion. He said, but we will definitely talk in 6 weeks. He's like, so have these two. They gave me the pneumonia vaccine and while I was there, and I think that's what's made me not feel well, and maybe that means I'm reacting to it. I don't know. But I have to go through. I'm going to Tom Thumb probably Thursday, maybe Friday. God, am I gonna have to go after my Spravato on Friday? Probably. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. So I have to get a tetanus shot, the Tdap shot. And of course, CVS is like, it's not covered by your insurance. And it's like, would you please run it through the health insurance? We've gone through this a million times. And then I said, you know what, whatever. So I called them, it's like, could you please send this to Tom Thumb? So I need to call them tomorrow to make sure that they have it. The other good thing is that they're coming Monday to start our bathroom. And I'm like, whoa. So Rob's like, oh, they won't be able to get started that quickly. He's like, yeah, he's like, I put some time aside for you guys, and I'm excited. And we used the good contractors list. I talk about it later in the video, but it's the good contractors list, and we are covered because they want half now and half later. Rob's like, absolutely not. And I'm like, dude, I thought the whole reason why we went through the good contractors list is that we are covered in case something goes awry. And I said, why wouldn't they ask for half now, half later? Is that not how things happen? Anyway, I don't know. They're coming. It's like, I am overruling you on that. And he finally said, yeah, you're right. He's like, he said, that is why we use the good contractors list. I was like, thank you. I would just like to get this bathroom done. So they'll be here Monday. So the next few days, I have to get a lot of things accomplished because I won't be able to do much Monday, Tuesday, and maybe into Wednesday. That was the other thing. He is concerned, the immunologist is concerned about chronic sinusitis. Sinusitis, is that how you say it? So I have to have a flippin' sinus CT scan next week. And I'm just like, is my big fat head and shoulders going to fit into a CT machine? Because I had one on my chest when I was in the hospital, and I don't remember fitting very well. So we'll see what happens. And I have very wide shoulders. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what's happening. So this was filmed Friday. Everything that I say in this video is true, except for I didn't start none of that logging business this week. I'm going to have to go back on Wegovy or Ozempic. My blood sugar is stupid high for no apparent reason. It's 257. I don't know if you guys can see that. What I've had today, I had my morning coffee. I had a Caesar salad with grilled chicken or sauteed chicken. And then I made pecan mousse, a keto pecan mousse. And I had I just tasted it to make sure it tasted okay. And then I made little like pecan clusters I just melted some Lily's peanut butter chips. And yeah, that's it. That's all I've eaten today, and it's high. So I'm going to give it a couple more days. I technically don't start my shots until Saturday, so we'll see. But yeah, I really don't have to. But I also don't want to run the risk of getting an infection because my blood sugar is high. The one thing that I loved about this doctor, who I love, by the way, is I wore a mask. I told her, I was like, I've got to get back into the practice and the habit of masking. And he walked in, he's like, oh, let me go grab my mask. So he went and grabbed this mask, and I was like, well, thank you for doing that. I was like, but you didn't have to. He's like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me to wear one. He's like, I just didn't think to put one on. And I said, well, I appreciate it. So yeah, he's been real nice. I really like him. So, and what is, I don't know, just kind of, it's like this tracks. Like I have complained for years. I've probably even complained on this channel for years that my immune system is broken. Like I am sick all of the goddamn time. I mean, I've already been sick, what, 3 times this year already? So yeah, anyway, the facet injections didn't help. So that we won't be doing those again, I can tell. But there was a lady there who was, did I mention that in this video? Maybe I did, I don't remember. But she got like L4S1, and I'm like, oh, that sounds really interesting. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Love the immunologist. He wants more testing, means another shot. I think I remember getting a tetanus shot before and it hurt like a motherfucker. So hopefully it doesn't hurt like a motherfucker and I will be okay. But yeah, so we're having steak tomorrow, I think. Like I said, I had that salad today. Oh, okay, guys. So freaking tired. I will talk to you guys in the next one. I don't know when that'll be. I gotta reschedule my therapy appointment. So I had to call and ask for her information. They wouldn't give it to me. I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't know where I would put it. So yeah. So anyway, that's it. Love you guys. Bye. Everyone, it's Missy here. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to another update video. I am not weighing in this video. It's been a rough couple of weeks. We're going to talk about it and go from there. So if you're new here, new to my channel, hello. I have been documenting my health journeys since March of 2017. Recently, I have been on a quest to lose 100 pounds so I can have a higher chance of having a successful neck fusion in the next few months, probably 4 or 5 months from now, 6 months from now. I haven't really decided. And it's been rough. It's been rough going. I have other health issues besides the few things that are wrong in my back. And I don't know what it is about August and September, but August and September are rough on my body. And then October is rough on my mind. So we'll start there. My grandmother passed away October 13th, 2000. So next Saturday will be 24 years since she's been gone. And I've mentioned before that I consider her my mother and my mother figure. So it has always been hard, you know, and sometimes I don't even remember. I'm like, why am I so sad? What is wrong with me? I'm like, oh, duh, Misty, it's October. This year, I feel like I'm feeling it even more because, like I mentioned, I feel like she's crossed over. I haven't had any dreams of her. Like, I haven't had any visits from her. Like, I can't connect with her. I mean, you can believe that or not believe it. It's completely up to you. But that's been really hard on me. So, yeah, my mental health in the month of October is never at its highest. And that has been a real struggle. So I've been trying to keep myself busy. I've been trying to kind of keep my mind on other things. So that's kind of the first part of this tale. The second part of this tale is my neck is so awful right now. So I need a C2 to T2 fusion, meaning like the back of my head down to like between my shoulder blades. And it's because I have bulging discs that are putting pressure on my spinal cord. One neurosurgeon said it was enough to cause paralysis, and I desperately need that fusion. Like, I need it. I need it, but it was scheduled for August 30th. I ended up in the hospital with double pneumonia and RSV Memorial Day weekend, and I just knew that there was no way that I would feel comfortable undergoing such a large surgery so close to having pneumonia. And I know a couple of doctors, even my own doctor, he's like, Misty, that wouldn't even matter. But it matters to me, and I am someone who really trusts my intuition. So I was like, no, we'll just do it later. So, and it'll have to be like early spring next year, because I will no longer be able to take anti-inflammatories, and I will have to be off my RA medicine. So not only will I be in an RA flare, but I also won't be able to have an anti-inflammatory, and I am not looking forward to doing that in any kind of cold weather, cold front situation. And we have had, our weather has been just all over the place. It's hot again. They are saying that we're going to have a hot and dry winter. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want it to be like super cold. Like if it was 75 degrees all the time, that would be my happy spot. Even 80, I would be okay with that. 75 is better because we can open the windows. You're like, Missy, that's hot. Yeah, we keep our air on 78 during the summer. So we've got a pool. We are all like, we have to do whatever we can do to keep the price of our electricity down, down, down. So yeah, and so the weather has been wreaking havoc on my body. I am so swollen right now. Like, this is I haven't been this swole up in months, I think. And like I said, my neck has been really bothering me. I went today for a facet injection nerve block in T10 to T12. He did 3 shots on each side, so I don't know if he went a little bit further down. I showed him where it was, and he's like, yeah, I can see that on the x-ray. So he does it, I think they call it fluoroscopy. Maybe I'm using that for the wrong, maybe that's the rhizotomy, I don't know. Anyway, he uses a x-ray machine to guide where he's putting the injection. And I opt for no anesthesia for that. So I'm basically lying there feeling, so he puts 3 in for the numbing medication and then 3 more in for the nerve. And it's when it goes into the nerve that it's really the worst. But I hate getting an IV. I hate getting an IV, and it's impossible for them to find veins that early in the morning, especially when they've said no water for 12 hours before or whatever. And they had a really hard time on Wednesday. I had my RA infusion on Wednesday getting a vein. It was a new girl, and boy howdy was she struggling. So my appointment was at 9, and I was actually done with the doctor by 9:15. She was early. It took her 45 minutes to get an IV started in the patient before me, and then took another 30 minutes for her to get an IV in me. So I should have been done around noon-ish, and that's like pushing it. But we were like, Rob picked me up at like 1:30. I don't even remember. So that was a rough day. And I hate getting double poked. I hate it. And I normally have big juicy veins. So I don't know how she wasn't able to grab one, but she wasn't. So that was no bueno. I did get a steroid in this infusion because, again, my neck, I've been dealing with some chronic inflammation, and it has been agony. And on top of that, there's been a lidocaine patch shortage. So I haven't been able to get my lidocaine patches, the 5% lidocaine patches from the pharmacy. I've been relying on over-the-counter ones. And the ones I found on Amazon, I'll try to remember to link them down below or flash up a picture. Those are actually pretty good. They stay really well. They're the less expensive ones. They end up working out to be like $1 a piece. Rob hasn't looked in the store for the store brand because I needed them like same day, and he didn't have time to go to the store. And I was like, well, Amazon said they will get them here this afternoon, so that's what we did. So they work out okay, but the neck, and it's actually mostly like my shoulders, like between my, like where my buffalo hump is what I call it. And so it's just been, I'm like, Misty, maybe you should have just went ahead and had the fusion. And I'm like, no, we're not going there. So I'm doing my best not to fixate on that. As far as the weight loss, at this point, I'm not even gonna concern myself with it. I have so many other things that I need to focus on other than what's going on with the scale. We talked the last time, I think, about how I was trying to decide a way of eating and I wasn't really sure what direction I wanted to go. I still don't know. I still don't know. So I have been off Wegovy. This is where I was going with the steroid. So I've been off Wegovy now for 2 weeks, and I'm on Wegovy for blood sugar. And I had a steroid on Wednesday, and so I told the lady, and I haven't had a Dexcom on because I can never remember if I can have it on when they're doing these procedures. So I haven't put one on. And I told the nurse this morning, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's going to be like high, like 250, 300 high. I said, because I had a steroid, and she's like, it's 200. And I'm like, okay. So I've been off Wegovy for 2 weeks, and I want to see if I can keep it low longer and possibly be off Wegovy for good. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. And again, it doesn't help that I've been inflamed, because inflammation can cause your blood, anything can cause your blood glucose to be high. Like I think it was 2007, I saw my doctor like in February, and my A1C was like 5.5. I started a new job. When I saw her again in May, my A1C was almost 12. It was so stressful. I had a suicidal 5-year-old. Like, it was stressful. And his parents thought he was a demon that needed to be exorcised. So it was the most stressful job I've ever had. And my blood sugar just went through the roof. And it wasn't my diet. I didn't change anything that I was eating. So yeah, anything with your blood, like anything can affect your blood sugar. So it's like fighting a losing battle sometimes. So yeah, so what I've decided to do, so I've been working with my therapist, and she's really been trying to help me get away from putting so much pressure on myself for anything. Like, and I told her, I said, I had this kind of, not really an epiphany, but maybe an epiphany. It's like, I have to meet myself where I'm at. I said, I've been repeating that. I have to meet myself where I'm at. Do I want to be someone who can drive, shower every day, go and do how they want to, etc.? Abso-fucking-lutely. Can I do that? No. And I'm doing myself such a disservice by expecting that. By expecting me to be, perfect all the time, or, I don't know. We've been really focusing on trying to change that mindset, and it's been something that I've been working on too. One thing we talked about in Monday's session was, she's like, what are your values? And she said, so I started going through it, and I have them kind of written down. But one thing she said, she's like, okay, I'm giving you homework. And I said, all right. She's like, I want you to go through your next 2 weeks. Because I told her, okay, let's back up. I've decided to keep a food diary. I don't know which way of eating I'm going to go. I'm going to guess I'm probably just going to go super low carb, probably not keto. We'll have to wait and see. But I told her, I was like, I feel like I want to keep a food diary. And I said, to not only record what I'm eating, I said, but to also kind of gauge my mood when I'm eating. Because I told her, I was like, I already try to eat intuitively. I already tried it. And then I'm like, okay, Misty, are you hungry? Or are you bored, excited? Like, is it an emotional eating? Are you bored, etc.? And so I feel like I do a pretty damn good job at that. Now, I've mentioned before on the Wegovy, I can be eating a meal and feel like I haven't eaten in 7 days. I mean, I hate it, and that's why I went off of it so much. But anyway, so that is something that she and I have been talking about. And so I told her about this food diary that I want to start, and she's like, okay, she's like, I want you to kind of, I don't remember exactly how she said it, but she's like, I want you to be aware of or incorporate your values, your personal values into how you eat, like this next couple of weeks. And so I was like, okay. So I came up with, here's my planner. I found just a cheap planner on Amazon. I probably could have printed something out, but I didn't want to. So this is what they look like. And I liked it because it had a habit tracker at the bottom, and then like a word like your focus, etc. So, and these are just, again, a little A5 calendar that I picked up off of Amazon. The stickers are from a really cute shop. I'll try to remember to flash up. I think it's Hub Man Chug Girl. So it has the week of, then it has a weekly focus, weekly goals, a to-do list, a habit tracker, and then the days of the week on the other side. So this is for next week. That's when I'm going to start it. So my weekly focus is consistency. I want to get to a point where I am consistent in my way of eating. And that's one thing that I've really been struggling with, because again, I'm like up and down. Like, do I completely do keto? Do I do carnivore? You know, is that too restrictive? Am I in the right headspace for that? Because that's one thing that I really struggle with, is I have to be in the right headspace to be able to do something like this and do it successfully. That's why I feel like I'm so pissed off at how I derailed in 2023, because I did so well in 2022. So yeah, anyway, so consistency. So my values were like, let me grab that because this is not flexible. That's not what I thought. She asked me my values, and I was like fairness, empathy, compassion, grace, persistent, flexible, and putting myself first. Well, that's not a value. But she's like, I want you to use your values as the guide for the next 2 weeks with eating and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we got that from. So my weekly focus is consistency. And my weekly goals is be flexible with myself, have self-compassion, give grace, care about wellness, fairness, perseverance, yeah, and self-respect. So be flexible. Like if we have a day where I can't cook, or if we have a day where I've planned something and everything goes to shit, I have to be able to be flexible enough to change things or have something in my back pocket, etc., to get through that instance. Self-compassion, I think that's pretty explanatory. I am someone who sets unrealistic goals for myself. I may have mentioned it in another video, I don't remember, but she and I talked about it, and I was like, I wonder if this is left over from childhood, because I felt like I was never enough. Like what I did was never enough for my mother. And so that, not my nana, but my actual birth mom, so to speak. And so I felt like I was never good enough, so I was always trying to push the bar. Plus I wanted out, and I knew to get out I needed to have an education. And so I've always been someone who pushes themselves. Go, 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 get it done, get out, all those kinds of things. So I have to be able to stop and be like, okay, Misty, you know, maybe like this next week, I know that I'm going to be grieving, and I'm going to have to be compassionate with myself if I have a time where I feel like I need something that from my childhood to feel close to my grandmother. Like I've mentioned before, when I was sick, she would make this kind of noodle soup. It's basically egg noodles with cream of chicken, cream of chicken soup. And when I am feeling at my worst, I want that. I want that little bit of comfort. And I have one in the freezer, and I've put it in the freezer for a reason. So if there is a night where I am very, like, really, really struggling, then I'm going to be able to give myself grace enough to pull that out and eat it if I feel like I need to. So giving grace, like, I can't expect perfectionism. I'm not a perfectionist. But again, I have such high expectations. And like, if someone else made a mistake, or if someone else, slipped up or something like that, I would never berate them the way that I berate myself. Even to her, she's like, Missy, you're really, like, mean to yourself. I don't think she used mean. She's like, but, there's a lot of, like, you're mad at yourself, or you can't do it. Or she's like, you talk a lot about that. And she's like, she wants to help me get away from that. And I appreciate that, because I do. I always have. So care about wellness, that is one that I found on the internet, because I typed them, like, okay, what are the rest of my values? And wellness is, like, holistic, not just my weight, but, like, my mental health, my physical health, my spiritual health, like, all of those, how am I going to help make myself well? You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to help myself feel better or heal my body, or whatever we're doing, right? So that is something that I want to focus on. Fairness, am I being fair with myself? But also, am I being fair with other people? Am I just like, I don't even know how to describe it. And that's why I have these written down, because I want to sit down and be like, okay, Missy, how are you flexible with yourself this week? When did you give yourself grace? How did you incorporate fairness into your week or whatever? And it may just be like, not being a bitch to myself. I don't know how that one's going to work out. You guys will have to give me some ideas in the comments. The next one is perseverance. I think that's going to go along with consistency. It's going to be just me pushing myself to get it done. Like, just sticking with it, being consistent, persevering, like, just no matter how hard next week is and next week is going to be, I just have to keep pushing through. Allow myself, compassion enough to know, and empathy and know that it's going to be a rough week. And I just have to be prepared for that and just be cognizant of that. And the last one is self-respect. And this one, I don't know. I don't know if I should focus more on boundaries. Like, I honestly don't know how that's going to be guiding myself. I feel like we kind of get that with the self-compassion, but maybe it's different. I'm not really sure. And I won't really know until we go through this. And then for my habits, it has your habit, it has the days of the week. You can set a goal for the number of days that you want to do this, and then you can do achieved. So I have record my food. That's why you haven't been seeing any food videos, because I cannot remember to do it to save my life. So I want to record my food 7 days a week. Soda, I haven't put a tracker on that. So I'm not trying to give up soda completely, but I do want to limit it to just like maybe a few days a week, or maybe a certain number of cans during the week. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so that is going to be kind of hit or miss. Low carb, I put 7 days. I'm going to do my best to be, low carb at least every day of the week next week. Cook meals, I put 5. That is probably, that's probably too high, but I'm going to leave it. Like, I'm going to leave it. So we'll do 5 and we'll see what happens. Oh, the first one, record food, was actually writing down the food. Because next we have exercise. On my to-do list, I have find chair exercises. So I'm going to get on YouTube and find someone I feel like I gel with, and someone I feel like I can actually do what they're doing, and see about that. I have 3 days a week. We'll see how we do. It may just be 5 minutes a day, but something to kind of just help me get some movement in. I do get up and I walk around the house and I do all of that, but I think just like maybe some yoga, chair yoga or something like that to at least help me with some stretching exercises can't hurt. And the last but not least is vlog. And that's what I mean, sharing my food every day. And that is a goal of 7. So this is, this is a lot, I feel like. But again, I'm putting in the work. This is not going to be easy. I'm putting in the work. And that's really all I can do. Like, I love my new therapist. I think, not that I didn't love my last therapist, but my last therapist was more about like the EMDR and a safe place and all that stuff. And it's not really helpful for me. I feel like more like this, where we're tackling things head on and, you know, just having her guide me through this, because, and she said, she's like, Misty, she's like, you know, you can't expect all of this to change overnight. She's like, and I feel like you do. I feel like you think that you should be unbothered and feel like you're over this right away. And she's like, that's never going to happen. And she said, you know, you have to leave room for triggers and stuff like that. That's kind of where the flexible comes in. So it's, I don't know. I told her, I was like, I feel like I've wasted the last year and 10 months. And she's like, but you've done a lot, right? For your health. And I was like, yeah. Yeah. And it's been super stupid stressful. And if there is any kind of light or positive to the last year and 10 months, I haven't gone above 345-ish, maybe 346. So I've stayed between 330 and 346. So that tells you most of it's been water weight. And at least I haven't gained up to 425. I was like, because, you know, I could have gone all the way back up and I haven't. So I am like, I have to count these, like, just stop looking at it through the lens of nothing is ever enough and look at it through the lens of I'm doing what I can. I'm meeting myself where I'm at. I have to stop just being so hard on myself. And it's going to be a learning curve. I'm a work in progress. This is a journey. She's like, this is a journey, Misty. This isn't a sprint. I was like, yeah, I know, but. So yeah. And then Rob is exhausted and I feel so bad for him because he's barely slept the last couple of days. And then today I had this facet block. We had to be there at 5:45 for a 6 a.m. appointment. And my injection was at 7. We had to be there at 5:45. They pulled me back at 6:15. I wasn't getting anesthesia. No IV. All she had to do was check my vitals and have me sign some paperwork. And he doesn't even come in until 7. And it was actually like 7:15. And I was just like, why on earth were we there 30 minutes early? So we were both up at 4:30. He was up at 4. I was up at 4:30. He hasn't been sleeping because he's been working nonstop. So I just feel awful because he feels so awful. He's so tired today. And I'm just like, God dang it. Like, this is when I start to feel guilty and I have to give myself some compassion because it's like, I hate that, you know, something like that today is making the rest of his day difficult. Like, I don't want to be a burden. And I think that's a big one for those of us who suffer with chronic illness is feeling like you're worthless or that you're a burden. And I feel like that's why myself and probably some of you too just kind of turtle. I call it turtling because it's like, I don't want to be a burden. I don't want, you know, like next week, we have 2 days. Tuesday we go see the immunologist. Friday I have Spravato. And I said the week after, you know, it's like, so I have something every week. And I tried to make, it's like my thought with this appointment at 6 o'clock was that we would be home before he was ready to start work. And he wouldn't have to miss any work. And we still weren't home till like 8:30. So that was frustrating. But, you know, I'm doing my best to get the appointments as early as I can so we can be as, you know, as convenient as possible. But I feel so bad that he hasn't slept much the last few days. So, I mean, it's almost 2 now. So hopefully he'll be able to get some sleep. But yeah. And the other thing that we've been dealing with is we want to do a refresh in our guest bathroom. So a year and a half ago, we bought a vanity and we were like, okay, we're going to redo our guest bath. And then things happened and we weren't able to do it. So a couple of months ago, has it been a couple of months by now? I was like, okay, we had an unexpected thing come up, and thank you all who purchased, etc. And because it was completely unexpected. Well, we got that money back. And so we were able to put it back into savings, and we were like, okay, let's reach out and start seeing if we can find somebody. So we have a new vanity. So we're just switching out the old vanity with the new vanity. We're switching out old lights with new lights. We're switching out old mirrors with new mirrors. The only thing we're adding is board and batten trim. So we had a contractor come out, $6,000. $6,000. And within that, we also asked for a quote for flooring. So I think it was May 2022, our washer flooded, and it flooded our hallway. So there's about a good, 3 feet of our laminate flooring that's buckled. So Rob's thought was, can we pull it up out like of the guest room? And we have another box. So like pull it up out of the guest room, patch the hallway, and then we put new flooring in the guest room and our room, because we made our bathroom wheelchair accessible, but we have carpet in the master bedroom or primary bedroom. So we need to replace that. So he gave us a quote for like leaving the guest room as is and replacing all of the laminate in the main part of the house plus our primary bedroom, $10,000. And that's labor and materials. And I'm like, are you telling me that it's going to cost over half of what it costs to get new flooring for a bath refresh? I mean, it was like $2,500 just in labor. And he's like, yeah, it'll probably take me, 12, 16. I'm like, what in God's name? And now I think about it, I'm like, yeah, if he's by himself, he has to move the vanity, blah, 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 blah. So I get it, but we were not expecting $6,000, and we cannot afford $6,000. So we thought he was going to come in and start working that on Monday. So we got everything out and everything's ready to be tore out, and we're like, well, no. He's like, well, and he was trying to justify it, and I get it, I do, but I was just like, I told her, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, why is a bathroom refresh over half the cost of what it would be to get new floors? It just doesn't make any sense. So we had 2 more contractors come out, and I dealt with them the last couple of days. Both of them were very nice. But part of the problem is, if you're in Texas, it's called the good list, and maybe this is everywhere, I don't know. But if you go through them, they cover up to $10,000 if there's something that goes wrong. So we went through them, and so I found a couple of contractors, but some of them are general contractors, meaning they're building houses and they're adding additions and they're doing these really big jobs. And again, this is like a little bath refresh. We're not pulling out the tub, we're not pulling out the toilet, we're not ripping up the tile. It's literally a new vanity, new mirrors, new lights, and board and batten trim. That's it. And we're gonna find somebody to wallpaper, etc. So I had 2 people come out and give quotes, and they were very friendly, and they were like, yeah, we do small jobs because small jobs sometimes lead to big jobs. And I'm like, well, we need to have our pool resurfaced. We need a new kitchen. Like we have a couple of more big jobs, at some point in our lives, hopefully. So I'm waiting to hear back on quotes from them. But if it's more than like $3,500, I'm just not going to be able to do it right now. So that's also been kind of stressful. So yeah. This was all over the place. Today, the OR nurse came and asked me my name and birthday. And I got like right in the middle of my birthday, and I was just like, I'm sorry, what did you just ask me? Like in the middle of my sentence, telling her what she asked me, I asked her what she asked me. And so we were talking in the OR, and I said, well, you saw how quickly my brain was like, lost all my memory. She's like, yeah, it was pretty quick. So, but she, that's Rob sneezing. Lord. she said, you know, what do you do? And I was like, oh, you know, I just do crafts and stuff. And she's like, oh, do you make like cards and stuff? Like, yeah, I make holiday cards and stuff. And she's like, I said on YouTube, and she's like, you have a YouTube channel? So I gave her my YouTube channel and my Etsy shop. She's like, I'm going to follow you tonight. She's like, get some holiday cards listed. And I was like, okay, I'll do my best. But she was so funny. But yeah, right in the middle of her asking me my name and birthday, I get right in the middle of my birthday and I'm like, I'm sorry, what did you ask me? Lord. So yeah. Why did I bring that up? I don't know. Oh, because this is probably rambly because my head is all over the place. So I am going to sit down today and meal plan for next week. I will try to film that, or at least kind of talk about what I'm thinking the next time I see you guys. Yeah. We have a 2-pound roll of sausage, so I thought about making sausage balls. That's something Rob enjoys, and he can just heat them up in the microwave and snack on them or whatever, or eat them with his meal or whatever. He stopped at Central Market, and he said there was a case by the deli, and he said it was a glass case, and he said, I saw $3,400, and I wondered what $3,400 was. He's like, it was like 2 pounds of this salmon, smoked salmon. And I said, I'm sorry, what? $3,400 for smoked salmon? And he said, yes. And I was like, holy crap on a cracker. Okay, so then that got us talking about a Parmesan wheel. There was a Parmesan wheel there when we used to go that you could buy the whole wheel. And it's like, did I send you the video of the restaurant that cooks makes the Alfredo sauce in the Parmesan wheel? And he's like, no. And then I said, you know, Alfredo is not my favorite. I said, I really actually like my garlic cream sauce. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't, and I could drink it. I said, oh, I should make that this weekend with some, if we have a roast, love. So that, listen, guys, this is how my brain whirls around. I hate it with the passion of 10,000 men, but it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know if the membership is available. I started it. I have no idea. And I really just haven't had the brain power to get into that. So if you feel like sharing, share how you're doing down below for the 100-pound countdown. Like I said, I am not weighing in until I get this water weight off, because I will just, we talked about that too. It's like, I am a completionist. And I always use my astrological sign as my personality, but that's because my astrological sign is my personality. And one thing about Tauruses is when you start something, you want to get it finished. And so if I start this and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to lose all of this weight, and we get to a point where nothing is happening, or I've gone up, I'm like, okay, I'm done. You know, that's why I'm trying not to focus on any macros or anything like that. Because I'm just like, if I don't hit it, it's going to make me say I'm done. And that's why I told her, it's like, I have to get to a point where I can do a day off, maybe once a month, and then the next day get back on. But I haven't had those days. I've done a day, you know, off, and then I do 7 more days off, and then I'll do 3 days on, and then I'll do 18 days off. So it's like this pattern, and I want to get out of this this ritual, this habit, whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of my big push and my big motivation. I also want to create some journal prompts. I can't write, so I can't write in a journal, but I was like, Misty, you could type up some things kind of journal style and keep them like that. Again, addressing more about how can I be compassionate with myself, and, you know, how was I flexible with myself this week? Just kind of turning those into journal prompts, and hopefully that will help as well. I feel like if I can get more, movement isn't the word I want, but it's the word that's popping in. Progress, maybe, like as far as my emotions and my mental health and this bravado and stuff like that. I feel like as I get better, as my brain gets better, like the depression gets better, all of this gets better, I'm hoping that it will trickle down to the eating and stuff like that, and I will be in a better kind of frame of mind and just cognizant of what's happening a little bit easier. So yeah. I don't know what I just said, but we're going to go with it. Today's the first day I've put on makeup in a couple of weeks. And I was like, I'm going to do an eye look that doesn't need any lashes. And then I did this, and I didn't put lashes on anyway. So yeah, I've been plugging along with holiday cards, and that has helped a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to be successful, I guess is the word. I just want to get it done. That's what I told her. I was like, I just want to get it done. Get it done. She's like, you're not going to be able to get it done in the next 2 weeks. I was like, I know, but I still want to get it done. Still want to get it done. So yeah, okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you. I apologize if this is all over the place, but welcome to my brain after pneumonia. I don't think anybody believes me, but yeah, I've been struggling since being home from pneumonia. I see the immunologist next week. I saw my rheumatologist on Wednesday, and she was like, yeah, she's like, this is low on some things. Oh, I can get off methotrexate. I said, can we talk about methotrexate? And she's like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, I am balding. I said, I am losing my hair at a rapid rate. And I said, if you feel like the methotrexate is making a big enough difference in my blood work and stuff, then I will deal with the balding. She's like, whoa, 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 whoa. She's like, I don't want you to have to deal with balding. She's like, there's studies about methotrexate and something, I don't like that. So Simponi Aria is kind of the same kind of medication as like Humira. So it works really well together. She's like, but there are other classes of drugs that could also work well that won't cause balding. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Because again, I mean, look, I already had thinning, but like my ponytail is less like the size of a dime. So if you know of a good hair regrowth serum, let me know. I would appreciate it. I've been using the Bondi Sands hair growth shampoo and conditioner. Since being back on methotrexate, it hasn't helped at all. But before, it at least stopped the shedding. I don't know if I was having regrowth, but it had stopped the shedding. So I don't know that I want to go full Rogaine, but I may have to. But I definitely hope to regrow some of it. So if you are someone who knows a regrowth serum, I would love to know it. Look at that. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Oh well. Anyway, that's it. I love you guys. This is enough. Misty, shut up. Shut up.